I know a lot of you are probably wondering what the gay scene is like. You can see two guys holding hands in the city center.
When you are against it, you don't go. Because I wanted to make some new gay friends. Tommy wasn't enough.
Hi guys, welcome to our channel.
And welcome to new me.
Ta-da!
Tommy cut my hair short. And I'm no longer blonde.
It was his idea, not mine. Anyway, by popular demand, today's video is gonna be about gay life in our part of the world.
Because we are gay.
And because a lot of you have been asking for this for quite some time. So we are here to fulfill your wish. And since we are from two different countries, Czech Republic and Slovakia, we thought it could be also interesting to compare some of the differences between the two countries.
So let's get started.
The main difference is obviously that we have a registered partnership in the Czech Republic, and there is nothing like that in Slovakia.
There is nothing.
Yeah. And an interesting fact is that the Czech Republic was the first country in Eastern Europe that had something like that, because the registered partnership is effective since 2006 already. So that's even before we met for the first time.
Yes.
And 15 years later, in Slovakia, there is no discussion even about having something like that.
Yeah, which is quite sad. But we are not Eastern Europe. Guys, it's important to say we are Central Europe. People are very touchy about this subject, so...
Geographically, Central Europe, politically, Eastern Europe, I guess.
Yeah, we don't care, but some people do.
Yeah. And in Slovakia, 15 years later, there are still people fighting for traditional family, right? And there have been some attempts to update the constitution.
Yeah, a few years ago there was a public vote about this, like family or marriage is only between a man and a woman. But this didn't pass because the public vote was invalid. Usually here it works like when you are against it, you don't go.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people boycotted the vote, and the attendance was less than 50%, right? Which is required for something like that.
The attendance was like 20% or maybe even less. So that was nice that it didn't pass, but it's still sad that there are discussions and public votes about this. I don't know.
I guess the main reason for this difference is that the Czech Republic is quite liberal in these things, and we are a very atheistic country. Most of Czechs are not religious at all, while Slovakia is more religious and more conservative.
Yes, that's true.
It's still not as bad as in Poland, for example, which is much more religious in our region.
Poland is the worst.
Sorry,
but yeah, I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah, even abortions are illegal there, and a lot of Polish women have to go to the Czech Republic for abortion if they need one.
Yeah, and they can't even grow poppy seeds. Agnieszka said that in comments, one of our subscribers, so that's quite sad.
Even though we have registered partnership here, it's still not the same as same-sex marriage. There are still some things missing. For example, the main difference is that we are not allowed to adopt children. The weird thing is that you are allowed to adopt as a single person, but you are not allowed to adopt when you are in a registered partnership, which is ridiculous.
It is. It doesn't affect us personally because we don't want children, but I don't know, it should be possible for everyone.
Yeah. And a lot of people use the argument that a child needs a mother and a father, but then how come single people are allowed to adopt? It makes no sense.
Yeah, so stupid.
There is also no community property for registered partners. So when you are in a registered partnership, we don't have property together, which can have advantages and disadvantages, because you don't have to worry about prenup, for example. And if two guys get divorced, or whatever it's called, deregistered.
Deregistered.
They don't have to worry about splitting things in half and stuff like that.
Yeah, both of us own one half. It's called ideal half.
Half, sure.
Like, is there an unideal half?
But you have a better half than me. You have the living room and I have the ugly bedroom.
Okay, I like that.
Also, for example, if one of us died, the survivor wouldn't get a widow's pension, which is common for straight couples, for married couples. So, yeah, still not equal.
So this is totally discrimination.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, but we are not planning to die yet. So wish us luck, guys. You never know.
Yeah, exactly, you never know about these things. There have been discussions in our parliament about having same-sex marriage, but that was already 2 years ago, and then COVID hit, and they stopped talking about it because they have other things to worry about right now. So we don't know when it will happen.
Yeah, but you said public is not against it.
No, majority of people support same-sex marriage here, which is a positive thing, obviously. Because I guess it wouldn't be the same in Slovakia.
Yeah.
So hopefully within the next few years it will be here as well, but...
So the parties in the parliament are usually pro-gay marriage, or how is it? Or they don't want to talk about it?
Some of them support it, some of them are against, but it's usually per person. Like each party allows their members to decide for themselves based on their feelings or beliefs. The difference between our countries also make it different for coming out as gay. You might feel more comfortable coming out in the Czech Republic maybe than in Slovakia.
Yeah, but it's very up to the family or where you grow up, and there are many different factors, I think.
That's true. There are also differences between cities and villages, for example. People in the cities are more used to minorities and they don't care about you as much. And when you live in a village, you immediately stand out if you're different in any way.
Yeah, that's true. So I was growing up in a village, but near a capital city. So all my friends, they didn't have any problems with this when I came out, but it was quite late age. My parents or my family is non-religious, but there were still problems. So it's totally different for every person, I think.
Yeah, that's true. And I grew up in a small town where I didn't feel comfortable being gay at all, and I didn't plan to come out until I moved to Brno, to the city.
But I think it's getting better and better as the time progresses, because there are more gay people out there, or they are more visible because they are not afraid to show that they are gay, and people are getting more used to it, I think.
That's true.
You know, because it was a shock for my parents, because they didn't know any gay person and it was totally new for them. So that's why it was probably like not that great.
Yeah, that's true, because during communism it was a taboo, even though it wasn't forbidden anymore since, I don't know, the 60s or something like that. But still, people didn't talk about it. They just knew that there are gay people, they knew that it's wrong, and only since the Velvet Revolution, which was in 1989, it became normal. So our parents still grew up in an environment where it was a taboo, so they didn't have much time to get used to those things.
Yeah, I think so.
But now, like with the new generation, it's different. Because now people of our age are starting to become parents and their children will grow up in a different environment. So considering all that, Czech Republic has made a big leap, let's say.
Yeah.
When it comes to public display of affection, we don't really do that much. Like, we don't hold hands in public or we don't kiss in public. I mean, first of all, we avoid public.
Yeah. More and more as the time progresses.
Also, we are such introverts and we don't like the attention. That we don't want to stand out.
Mm-hmm. It's still not something that you see every day, two guys holding hands or something. So it would draw quite a lot of attention. People would look at you.
But it does happen every now and then in Brno.
Mm-hmm.
You can see two guys holding hands in the city center.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody really says anything. Like maybe someone can look at you, but that's it.
Here in the Czech Republic, people usually don't care, or even if they do, they don't say anything. Because it's not like in the US, when random people talk to you.
Yeah.
Here everyone is quiet and just minding their own business.
Which is as it should be.
Yeah, so people don't talk to each other here.
Yeah. So even if they don't like it, they will not say anything to you directly.
And we heard some stories from the US that some areas could be dangerous for gay people and stuff like that. We don't have this here. You feel safe everywhere, I would say.
Yeah, I never felt unsafe or anything like that. It's just about drawing attention for me.
Yeah, it happens, but very rarely that someone gets beat up. But that could be anyone, not just gay person.
And that happens in all countries, even the most liberal ones.
Yeah.
Sometimes we hold hands when we walk in the forest, for example.
Yeah.
During our hikes, when there's nobody around.
Yeah.
But usually when we see somebody approaching, we quickly stop holding hands.
Yeah.
Away.
And usually Tommy is like, no, I don't want to hold hands because they will get sweaty and it's uncomfortable to walk like that and other romantic things.
I'm a practical person and it's true, like it's nice for a moment, but then I wanna let go and concentrate on the hike.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people don't care that you're gay as long as you don't show them actively that you're gay.
Oh yeah, this.
Yeah. Like, they usually say that they don't care what you do at home, so the fact that you're gay doesn't bother them, but they don't like seeing it in public or on TV or prides and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't like this reasoning because it's stupid.
They're not aggressive about it, so you don't have to worry about your safety, but you know that they still don't like it. But unfortunately, this is not just about being gay. People generally don't like minorities, or they don't like that you are different from them. Like, people cannot respect other people's differences in general for some reason. It bothers them that that guy doesn't eat meat, that guy is black, or whatever. Just anything that makes you different.
Yeah. So stupid. But this is general, not just here, but everywhere in the world.
Yeah, of course. I know a lot of you are probably wondering what the gay scene is like in the Czech Republic and Slovakia. But to be honest, we don't have much experience ourselves because, again, we are such introverts that we don't really visit such places.
Yeah, we don't really participate in gay life. I don't know. But we are going to tell you something about this anyway.
I visited my first gay bar, I think when I moved to Brno, so I was 19. And I just remember, like, the music was good. I liked all the pop music, but you know, there were a lot of people and they were looking at you, like you were a new one, and I didn't feel that comfortable there.
Yeah, so again, center of attention, or the attention was on you, so you weren't very comfortable.
Yeah. I can listen to that music at home as well, so why go there?
Yeah, and you don't dance. Tommy doesn't dance.
And the music is so loud that you can't talk to anyone. I don't like such places. I think I've been to a gay bar a couple of times. You could count it on fingers of one hand.
I have been once in my life so far.
And how old were you?
I was very old. Not old like now, but
like 45.
It was a few years ago. We were in Prague. We had a meetup with one of our friends from Spice Girls area.
The spiciest area of Prague.
And he is a really big fan of gay clubs. So he wanted to go. Tommy was like, no, I'm not going. So he stayed at his place with some other friends. But I wanted to go because I wanted to experience that. Yeah. You should experience everything. So we went and it was interesting. I quite enjoyed it. The music was very good. I was dancing the whole time. We both were. And when we sat down, there were some guys around and they were asking questions. And I was like, yeah, I have a husband. Look at my wedding ring. So that's amazing. And they were envious. And
as they should be.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about me.
Of course.
But I remember you were complaining that the drinks were not alcoholic enough.
Yeah, like, I don't know, something was fake about those drinks because I didn't get not drunk, but more happy.
So you left sad?
No, I didn't left sad, but it was a nice experience.
We've also never been to a Pride, even though there is one in Prague every year, I think.
Yeah, a big one.
Yeah. And I think even in Brno there have been some prides.
Oh really?
Yeah. But again, a lot of people, we avoid places like that.
Yeah, that's not our scene.
I'm also not completely sure if prides are a good thing. I mean, I understand why they were created in the first place, but nowadays I feel like they lost its meaning. Like, we don't need anymore to show people that there are gay people around them, they already know that.
Yeah, but they show the color of life, you know? Different kinds of people, and that there is not one norm, but everything is possible.
I'm not against them, but it's just not something that I find useful. I don't know.
Because the media always pick some very extravagant pictures.
Yeah, they make it look like we all wear mesh t-shirts or tank tops and we go out in underwear and stuff like that. So
feathers.
Yeah. So it might not give the best image to us overall. Like, they generalize.
But there is nothing wrong about being extravagant, of course.
Yeah. It's not us, but people are free to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Even though it's quite liberal here, being part of a minority like that is unfortunately something that you carry with you for the rest of your life. It can still make you self-conscious, or you worry, for example, when you invite some contractor to your place to fix something, you worry about what he will think when he sees two guys at home, and if he will maybe do a bad job on purpose because he doesn't like gays or something like that.
You never know. So this is something that straight people don't have to deal with. And we always think about things like this.
Yeah.
But again, it's everywhere, not just here. For example, at my work, the first year I was working there, I didn't tell anyone that I was gay. And they were asking, like, why are you in Brno? And I was always like, yeah, it somehow happened, or something like that. And just later I started telling people, because you never know what the reaction is going to be.
And it can make the work environment unfriendly if you realize that someone is homophobic.
Yeah, but no one is, so it's okay at my work and at your as well.
Yeah, it was the same for me at the beginning. I just avoided topics like talking about relationships, because for some reason straight people always like somehow mention that they have a girlfriend or a wife within the first few sentences.
Yeah, because it's normal to talk about, because it's part of you, you know, part of your life.
But eventually, when I felt comfortable with my colleagues, they all found out as well. I didn't come out to them, but I just started mentioning Peter, for example.
It was interesting for me, now that I'm thinking about it, because I registered at this Czech website for gay guys because I wanted to make some new gay friends. Tommy wasn't enough.
Because it was at a time when I was on a longer business trip. I was gone for several weeks, right?
Yeah, and I wanted to have gay friends. And so I registered at this website and I met 2 guys. So I made 2 friends. The friendship slowly disappeared over the years. So I don't have any again. But I'm coming to a point finally. So one of my colleagues is gay and he was a user of this website as well. So one day at work, he was like, I have to tell you something. I found you on this website because I'm gay as well. And I was like, what? That's, wow, such a coincidence. So that was great because there were 2 of us.
And you had someone to talk to at work.
But at work, he doesn't talk about that openly. So for him, it's something that isn't talked about. And
so he's still in a closet, so he only has you at work to talk to.
There are other situations in life where you wonder if you should mention something. For example, when you are in a bank and they ask you what's your relationship status, because it's something they ask about when you apply for a new account or you want a mortgage. And sometimes they don't have registered partnership as a category. So they are like, oh my god, what should I put there? Okay, married, I guess.
It's just that the system wasn't prepared.
They are usually like, oh, that's interesting. Like, this is new, I have to put it somewhere.
Because there are not that many registered couples, right? Maybe thousands in the whole country.
Yeah, so we are quite unique. Why is that?
I don't know, they are waiting for same-sex marriage maybe.
Okay.
So I guess this is not such a bad country to live in for gay people.
Yeah. We'll see how the gay marriage develops, how many years we have to wait for that, but otherwise, like, we haven't encountered any problems.
We've never been victims of homophobia.
And that's it, guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us in the comment section.
Yeah, maybe we forgot to talk about some topics.
About gay life. No, this is everything we had on our minds.
On our gay agenda. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you are informed when we have a new video out.
Yeah, otherwise you would be at the mercy of YouTube if it shows you on the homepage or not.
See you guys next time.
Bye!
Bye!